Hi, my name is Diana Cruz. I will be debating Jonathan. Teenage pregnancy is a stressful experience, and many people would agree that it would be a sensible issue for pregnant, unmarried teenage girls to seek advice from an adult parent. Parental involvement laws would make notification of pregnancy and consent for abortion from one or both parents. Such laws exist in 43 U.S. states but are enforced in only 32. Unfortunately, California is not one of them, and minors can obtain an abortion without parental consent. Most of the laws apply to young women under 18 and provide for a court bypass procedure. Should a young woman be unable to involve her parents, most of them include exceptions for medical emergencies. In principle, of course, similar law would be introduced anywhere where abortion is legal. Under 16 needs parental consent for medical treatment and surgery. Abortion should not be an exception. There are plenty of other things children are not allowed to do without their parents' consent. For example, tattooing, ear piercing, school activities such as school trips because they need their parents' permission to sign a little permission slip. And parents can withdraw their children from school religious activities without the children's consent. Under 16s are not allowed to get married without their parents' consent. Abortion is at least as important. Abortion is at least as important a decision as any of these. Parents have a right to know what their children are doing. They are legally responsible for their care, and as parents have a proper interest in the case. Any good parent would want to know their daughter were having an abortion. Any good parent would want to help her daughter make a good decision on the matter and to prevent her making a bad one. Kathy Neer, president of the Planned Parenthood in California, says that the parents of teenagers have to live with the consequences of teenage motherhood. They often bear a particularly large responsibility for looking after the children because teenage mothers are usually single, living at home, unemployed, in full-time education. They are economically dependent and unable to give all of their time to the children. If the mother's parents are going to have to look after their grandchild and to live with it and take care of it, I believe that they should have a say on whether it is born in the first place. The decision whether to have an abortion or to continue the pregnancy often has a major long-term impact on a woman's psychological and emotional well-being, her ability to continue formal education, and her future financial status, says the Department of Health Sciences. The proposed measure helps ensure that pregnant teenagers get support and guidance from their parents in this important decision. If parents are not informed, there is a risk that they and their daughters will become permanently estranged at a time when parental support is most important. In exceptional cases, we appreciate that it may be inappropriate for a child to tell her parents she is pregnant when she is estranged from them, for example, where she has been abused by them, or where telling them would be a pressing, serious, foreseeable threat to her safety. In such cases, the courts could allow a waiver so that she would not have to tell them, as happens in those U.S. states where this policy exists. In normal circumstances, however, they should be informed and consulted, and these unusual cases do not affect the principle that this is a sensible law. This may be one of the circumstances which could be grounds for a judicial waiver. Again, it should be thought to invalidate the principle that parents should be consulted over whether underage children should have abortions. For young women nearly at the end of 16 or 18 age barrier, the case for parental consultation is clearly less compelling. For a 13-year-old, it is overwhelming. We have to draw the line somewhere and remain sensitive to individual circumstances. My opponents might say that by placing an age boundary after which a woman no longer needs to obtain parental consent, say at the age of 16 or 18, may encourage a woman just below the age to wait until her birthday before seeking a legal abortion. But then again, as the later the abortion is, the more dangerous it is for her life. Requiring parental consent will lead to a fall in the number of abortions. For example, in Minnesota, the number of legal teenage abortions fell by 25% when this measure was introduced. In Virginia, it fell by 20%. Since abortion is quite apart from moral questions about its personality, physically and psychologically traumatic for mothers, especially teenage mothers, this is a good thing. When the quick fix of abortion as a response to teenage pregnancy is no longer so easily available to teenagers, attitudes change. Teenagers are less likely to have sex or more likely to use contraception if they do, both of which have positive effects on health by cutting unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases, says Donna Herber, president of the California Nurses Association. In some cases of sexual abuse which have resulted in pregnancy, abusers have taken their victims to have an abortion without the knowledge of the victim's parents. Requiring parental consent could help to cover such cases of abuse. Now, going back to my opponent's claim, my partner said that the teen sex rate is too high and it will decrease if a teen needs parental consent to have an abortion. My opponent said that there is no argument. I say that there is an argument because you can measure it. For example, you can use census, count pregnancies that come into the hospital or clinic, and even the abortion. One more claim that he made was that my partner said that the number one reason teens that do not participate in sexual activity is because they are scared of getting pregnant. Then if abortion for a teen is hard to get, teens are likely to participate in sexual activity. My opponent said that getting pregnant may be a likely reason for a minor to not participate in sexual activity, but that doesn't reduce sexual activity. Well, there has been a study done by Kaiser Permanente where they got some teenagers of ages 15 to 17, and it was said that 94% of them said that concern about pregnancy influenced their decision to